All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Kansas Speedway. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. Well, the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series heads to Kansas Speedway tonight. It's a 100-lap race, and it's race number 8 of the season. What a great mile and a half. Going to be a lot of side-by-side racing here. Could be a really tight finish. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory? Well, there is only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, a little Buschwackers action for you here on a Friday night. It's race number 8 of the season. It's Kansas, and there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. All right, thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight. And we got a good one for you, man. Oh, I like Kansas. This is a little fun to watch. I don't know if I like driving it, but I like broadcasting it. 100-lap race here tonight, race number 8. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you joining us as always, whether you're watching live or on replay. Kansas Speedway, a very, very fun track. We have about 7 minutes left in the practice session. Today's race is at Kansas, and it is a 1.5-mile track. 4 turns, baby. Of course, 5 if you want to include the tri-oval. Banking in the turn 17 to 20 degrees, in the front stretch 9 to 11 degrees through that tri-oval area. Backstretch at 5, and let me say, you cannot go above or below the white line there in the tri-oval, so going to have to hang out there to the right of the white line tonight, so that could make that area a little bit tighter, or it will be a little bit tighter. But this is Kansas Speedway, man, very fun track. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. You want an rFactor 2 server? There are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. How about some shared web hosting, VPS hosting, online store hosting, or WordPress hosting? You can also get those from EliteHostingUSA.com. And that's who provides our services here at HighOctaneRacing.net as far as our web hosting, our RF2 stuff. Solid connections. Got a big field here tonight, and great connections here with Elite Hosting. Don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net to get a quick link to our Discord server. That's where we do most of our business. And you get updates of point standings, what we have running, what the schedules are, and so forth and so on. Appreciate everybody heading over there and checking it out. About 5 minutes left to go in practice. Point standings coming into tonight. Franco Alvarez, pretty comfortable lead right now. Marizon is in second. Gordon Carter third in points. Tight battle there with Dana Grover. John Stanley sits 5th in points. Todd Robillard and Argentina tied for 6th. Rivaldo Spindola is 8th. Jomar See page number 2, they're headed up by Claudio Bardelli Jr. Sean Jacobs not here tonight, so wishing his son best of luck in his college tournament in his final season. But see Gelson Neto, Steve Pierce, Gelson Neto, Jesus Iglesias, Benor Silva, Alexei Salviev, Dan Richter, Chris Hughes, and Tony Furtado rounding out the top 20. Looking at page 3 there, Jair Oliveira heading that up. So these guys part-time racers. So we're good to see those guys on out racing with us tonight too. A couple of those guys out here. So that's the point standings coming into tonight's race.
A lot of soul.
High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series will be back in action, not at this track. You know, see, that was something I should have checked. Let's get the right banner up there. I need an assistant. There we go. Milwaukee Mile coming up tomorrow. 200 laps in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series, race number 3 of the season. And a 200 lapper from Milwaukee Mile, man. This flat track. A lot of guys are out getting a lot of laps in. A lot of guys getting laps in throughout the week at this track. They want to get those tires dialed in. This thing is tough on tires, and hopefully we'll be broadcasting that live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers series. Now we got a little bit of a do-over. We're going to do the April 19th race there at Talladega. We had some plug-in problems and so forth, so we're going to tag that on to the end of the season. I haven't updated the schedule yet, but next week we'll be at North Wilkesboro, and then we'll have one more week, and we'll do Talladega again, 70-lap race there on, what's that, May the 24th-ish, somewhere around there. I think that's the next week. So North Wilkesboro coming up tomorrow. Tough Trucks will be at Darlington on Tuesday. Race number 2 of the season. We had a great race last week at Kansas. And I think Darlington is going to be a lot of fun in these trucks. 110-lap race coming up on Tuesday in the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action at Kansas tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 100-lap race in Kansas in the big boys, with the big boys, the Cup Series, the Saturday Night Thunder. Look at that, Givaldo starting us off. Claudio Bardelli Jr. also in here. Both those guys going to be running strong here tonight at Kansas, I'm sure. So best of luck to those guys. Looks like we are just a few moments away from the qualification session. Can be a little tough getting on pit lane here tonight too, man. This thing carrying a lot of speed coming down off the track, and see it's a really tight left hand after you come off turn 4. All right, does look like these guys are headed to the qualification session. All right, we'll take a look at Giulio Caligari. His qualification attempt. And right now, Ed Palumbo out on the, he's in the pits. Looks like Franco Alvarez out on the grid here. So we'll take a look at Giulio Caligari. Greg Maier's on the top time, 30.847. Let's see where Giulio lands here in his first race out with us. Good to see Giulio in the 3X car tonight. Maier's on 30.847. Preston Hassel up to second on the grid. Ben Silva third. Udichin fourth. Alvarez fifth. Giulio with a 31.159. A little bit of work to do for Giulio, but climbing up the grid there to the 11th position. Preston Hassel looks like he's finished up that one. We'll take a look at Dennis Udichin in the 47 car. Looks like he might have finished up his. Sorry, I had to let the dog out. That's why I had missed a little bit of squalls. How about Claudio Bardelli Jr. here in the 19 car? 31.117 for Claudio. He's got some work to do. He's got a little work to do here on lap number 2. That second sector is fast. The first one just 2/1000ths of a second off. 30.751 up to P2 for Claudio. Yeah, Palumbo and the Melly Ellis bouncing machine. 30.822. Right now 11th on the grid for Ed. Gilmar Peixoto in his 71 car. His qualification attempt. Robillard at the top of the grid here. 7.32 is the time for him. Bardelli Jr. second. Vieta third. Marzon fourth. Grover is fifth. .925 up to 15th on the grid for Gilmar. Gilmar might have another lap in him. Does not look like it. It looks like Todd Robillard will be our pole setter here tonight. Looks like those guys are effectively done qualifying. We appreciate you guys joining us here on TurnLeftTV. And let's get this party started. All right, welcome back. Thanks for coming in here tonight. It's race number 8 of the season, and it's Kansas Speedway. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you joining us tonight. And we just finished the qualification session. Right now, they are in the driver's meeting, and we'll get you the official results here shortly. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and smash the bell. You'll get updates of when races are going live. Thank you all those new subscribers out there and all those people who stick with me. Share my videos with all of your friends. And also click on the links I have in the description of the race. I got 4 links there. One to the PayPal if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV. Also my Sim Lab affiliate link. Really appreciate that if you would help me out there. If you want to purchase something through SimLab, I would appreciate you using my link. And again, thanks for coming in to TurnLeftTV. Let's take a look at some of my race keys tonight. Here at Kansas, tire management. Those right side tires will absolutely burn off this car if you drive this thing too aggressively. Manage the throttle here tonight through the turns. You're going to be in some packs here, so you're going to have to be really, really careful. Corner exit is everything, I think, at this track. and limit that aggressive driving and make sure your pit stops are on point. Pit stops are really kind of challenging here because as you come off the track, you're carrying a lot of speed, and it's almost a tight left-hander into that lane, into pit lane. So it is really, really tough. I think we might have some trouble here if guys aren't careful. All right, we have finished up the qualification session. Let's take a look at the results. Todd Robillard in the 90 qualifies P1. Claudio Bardelli Jr. second. Archie Vieta third. Craig Marizan qualifies in the fourth position. Dana Grover fifth. Franco Alvarez qualifies in sixth. John Stanley seventh. Benner Silva qualifies in the eighth position. Preston Hassel ninth. Dennis Schuderson qualifies in P10. Qualifying in the 11th position is Ed Palumbo. Jair Oliveira qualifies in P12. Gordon Carter 13. Givaldo Spindola qualifies in P14. Brand new paint scheme for the 68 car, so we're excited to see that one out there. Another one of those masterpieces by Franco Alvarez. Gilmar Peixoto, the 71, qualifies 15. Julio Caligari, how about that, man? That is some Brazilian race royalty right there. Julio Caligari joining us in the 3X tonight and qualifies in 16th. Steve Pierce in the 51 qualifies in 17th. How about that, man? That is awesome. So these guys are now in the warm-up session. Get some chats in here. Jomar Peixoto, Darren Hollowa, cheering on Fireball Flash. Dana Grover, good to see him. And I think he might be racing from Tracks VR tonight, judging from the paint scheme he's racing. So welcome to those guys. Everybody watching there from the Tracks VR facility. Kudos to you guys for joining in. Dennis Schuderson out here in that 47 car, getting some laps in. Benner Silva also. Craig Marizan off pit lane. Archie Vieta just exited the pit lane. He's out on the track in the warm-up session. Preston Hassel also joining us in the chat session. Good to see Preston out tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Milwaukee Mile in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. Wow, man, I'll tell you what. I got the car out and tested the track in the car. Man, I loved it. Downshifting into third through the turns. At least I was anyway. And, I had a pretty fairly good time compared to what those guys were running here, too. So I was in the 23s. This guy's running in the 23s as well. So I'm excited, man, about this race. This should be a good one. I think a lot of guys first time out in Indy cars at the Milwaukee Mile. And kudos to the guys who have done the conversions there. Brent Owen, Alexander Meshkoff, getting this track converted over and looking sweet. So that's coming up tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. Robillard picking the 4 cars, not even picking himself. What? My pick tonight? Boy. I'll tell you where I'm going with this one. I got a good pick in right there. Ben or Silva. Oh, Ben Hort. That's my pick to win this race. Ben or Silva. He is... he's in a 5 car tonight. Good new paint scheme. Another one of those great paint schemes by Franco Alvarez. So there's my pick to win the race tonight. Ben or Silva in the 5 car. Looks like we have about 4.5 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Don't forget the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday for 110 laps at the Lady in Black. That's Darlington. So it is race number 2 of a brand new season. And we'll see if we have a first-time winner at this track. I know who it's not going to be. It's not going to be me. I'm terrible at that track. I was pretty decent at that track in the RF1 and also Papyrus, NASCAR Racing 2003, but I have not been able to figure it out in RF2. But I'm sure those guys will have it figured out. May have to sit out and watch that one. Saturday Night Thunder will be right back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a 100-lap race. It's actually going to be May the 4th, not May the 3rd. I tell you what, I have trouble reading the calendar, man. I mean, I'm getting old, bro. 100-lap race at Kansas tomorrow in the Saturday Night Thunder, the Cup Series, race number 8 of the season. All right. Well, looks like we got 30 seconds left to go before we get the command to start the engines. You get your picks in now. Picks in now, boys and girls. It is the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series tonight here at Kansas. All right, here we go. It's Kansas, baby. You know what Dorothy said? There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engines!
All right, the starting order here tonight at Kansas. Tom Robillard in the 90 starts in P1. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts in the second position. Starting in third is Artie Viet in the 4 car. Craig Marizon will start fourth. Starting in fifth is Dana Grover in the 89. Franco Alvarez starts in sixth. John Stanley 7th in the 12 car. Benor Silva in the 5 will start in 8th. Starting in 9th is Preston Hassel in the AMD Rising sponsor machine. Dennis Shushin starts 10th. Ed Palumbo will start in the 11th position at 54 car. Jair Oliveira starts in P12. Starting in 13th will be Gordon Carter in the 56 car. Givaldo Spindler in the 68 starts in 14th. Jomar Peixoto starts 15th. Julio Caligari in the 3X starts in 16th. Starting in 17th will be Steve Pierce in the 51 Captain Morgan sponsor machine. My keys to the race here tonight. Tire management. Massage that throttle, baby. This thing can get a little bit loose if you get aggressive. Corner exit can be tricky. So we got to manage that to limit your aggression here tonight, because this could be a big problem, man, if guys start doing these sudden lane changes and so forth and get really, really aggressive. Make sure your pit stops are on point. It is really challenging to pit here, in my opinion. So going to have to manage that as well. So here we go, the 90 car, pole position here tonight. Bardelli Jr. in the 19, qualifies on the outside. Here they go, and we're going to get this bad boy kicked off here at Kansas.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys!
Robillard on the inside, already a little kiss right there. Robillard inching ahead as those guys come around turn 3. Turn 4 down on the backstretch. 89, Dana Grover to the inside, trying to figure out what he can do on this inside line. He's got a little help there with John Stanley, but that outside line is on the move. Marizon in the 60 car, now inching ahead. He is in P4, still side by side with the 89. 89 picking up some steam there through the corner. On board here with Marizon. The 89, Dana Grover down on the inside line. Good run here down the backstretch. Holding that line on the outside. Those guys can run that outside line right up near the wall. Are going to have the advantage here tonight. But Dana Grover showing he's got some muscle here on the inside line, and he clears Marizon. But now he tucks back down with John Stanley. Family in that Tim Hortons sponsor machine. Running in the 5th position. Take a look at Franco Alvarez here in the 8th position right now. At 83, he is our points leader. That Bass Pro Shop sponsor machine. Now up to P7. Benor Silva following him in the 5 car. Silva there clearing Preston Hassel as Hassel dives in back in the 9th position. On board here with Preston Hassel. See it a little bit tight right there on corner entry. So he's running in P9. Dennis Schudertron rounding out the top 10. Back up here with our race leader. That's Todd Robillard. Arthur Vieta just behind him in the 4. Take a look at Givaldo Spinola and Giulio Galagari side by side. Good battle here. Givaldo in his new paint scheme in that 68 car. Just into the front of him, Giulio and Gordon Carter there. Some tight racing. Steve Pierce there climbing up onto the back of the 68 car. Steve Pierce in that 51. Captain Morgan sponsor machine. See now Claudio Bardelli Jr., or excuse me, Jomar Peugeot, Givaldo Spinola. I'll get it, I swear to God. Oh my God. Givaldo in the 56 of Gordon Carter side by side. I'm sorry, Givaldo. Good tight racing here. Go back to live here as Robillard is the leader. Franco Alvarez and Craig Marazon had a little battle here in this 60 car on the inside line. The 83 up on the outside. Good tight battle there. Benor Silva sticking with that outside. And I think Marazon's going to have to try to get this car up to the high side. He is still battling Franco Alvarez. He is really giving it a valiant effort. And now backs back down to... or goes up to the high side. Robillard is the leader here in the 90 car. 4 of Arthur Vieta right on the backside of him. Take a look at out of the back of Robillard's machine at Arthur Vieta. He is all over the back of him right now. All over the back of that 90 car. Givaldo and Jair here battling it out. Givaldo to the inside. Jair in that 17 car up on the outside line. And that 68 going to pick up that spot. Steve Pierce trying to pass or follow him through. Looking out of the back of Givaldo's machine. These guys sort of maybe on tire save strategy there. Gordon Carter, Giulio Caragari way up the track right there. And Gordon Carter, Giulio slamming the wall. Giulio into the wall, hard contact for him. And Givaldo going to get by. That was a hard lick there for Giulio. That was a hard lick there for Giulio. You see him up in the wall here, and then it coming off the wall. Oh, man. I think he just misjudged. He maybe thought the 56 car was going to come up. And now some right side damage for the 3X. Eleven laps in, and Todd Robillard, the leader. Arthur Vieta second. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is in third. Running in the 4th position is Dana Grover. Good night here for him. Boy, that big at that Trax VR facility. If that 89 car can get this car back in victory lane. Already got a big fan club in here. That's so cool. You guys all watch him race. That'd make me nervous, man. That would make me nervous. Look at this battle. John Stanley and Benor Silva here mixing it up. And it looks like the 5 car up on the outside line is John Stanley trying to squeeze through. And Benor reclaims that position, it looks like. John Stanley got a run on the inside, however. John Stanley to the inside. This guy's starting to get a little racy there. You see Dana Grover trying to claim some positions as well. And John Stanley, that Tim Horton sponsor machine, battling Benor Silva. Look at that ahead as Dana Grover picking up P3. He is on the move. So take a look at Dana Grover now in 3rd. Bardelli Jr. 4th. Alvarez is in 5th. Rico Alvarez is our points leader. Look at this. We're starting to mix it up here with these guys. Looking out of the back of Alvarez's machine at John Stanley. Marizon here trying to use this outside line now. He's figured it out. He said, hey, man, I'm done with this inside line. I'm going to get to the outside. And now he gets around Benor Silva. Good clean pass there. Great racing on those guys. Good clean racing. Setting the example here tonight. Jair Leveda in the 17. He's dropped back. Now battling Steve Pierce. He's just behind Giulio Caligari. So the 17 NASCAR BR sponsored Camaro down to the low line. Now getting around Giulio Caligari. Up to P15. And now he's setting his sights on Gilmar Peixoto. On board here with JJ. He's going to the outside. He said, I'll pass you on the inside. I'll pass you on the outside. Doesn't make a difference to me. NASCAR BR sponsor Camaro number 17 of Jair Leveda now moving up and claiming another position. And looks like Caligari going to try to pass on the outside as well. Steve Pierce out there working on Gilmar in the 71. So that 51 Captain Morgan sponsored machine now picking up a spot. Up to P16. Rico Alvarez and Claudio Bardelli Jr. Alvarez at that Bass Pro Shop sponsored Camaro. Battling the Ford. Global Trans Ford number 19. And Alvarez on the move. Now side by side with the Toyota. The Toyota. Dana Grover, though, has a little bit ahead of steam there coming off the turn. But Alvarez looking racy now. Maybe he did those saving those tires. This guy goes out like gangbusters. But that good side-by-side racing here in front of the field. Backs off. Bardelli Jr. reclaiming that position. And look at that. Craig Marizon, John Stanley closing back in on that pack. Yeah, Palumbo in a 54 car. Mello Yellow sponsor machine. Battling Benor Silva. Just behind Dennis Udichin. Udichin running into the 9th position. And Palumbo now in P10. As Silva now falls back to P11. Alvarez looking racy again down to the inside. Oh, Bardelli Jr. on the outside might have made contact with the wall. Claudio Bardelli Jr. might have made contact with the wall. And I'm hearing that some of these guys are going to be making pit stops here. I heard the 71 on the radio saying he's going to make a pit stop. We'll keep our eyes on him. And Peixoto is coming down pit lane. These guys are getting racy. See Peixoto on pit lane as Robillard is our leader, and I think these guys are going to be coming down pit lane really, really soon. This is what scares me here. So Peixoto finishing up his pit stop at his 71, coming back out on track. Got to be careful not to speed. Could be devastating here. So here on lap 22, the 71 has his pit stops in the books. Todd Robillard in the 90. Just behind him is Artur Vieta in the 4. Those guys hugging that outside wall. Franco Alvarez in P3. And we got some guys saying they are going to be making pit stops. John Stanley indicating he's going to make a pit stop. He's in P7 right now. Tim Horton spots a machine. Coming down to make a pit stop this time by. This is such a tough track to make a pit stop, man. I mean, you are carrying so much speed. It's a hard left. You see 27 on pit lane as well. The 90 car indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. He's the race leader. Todd Robillard giving up the race lead to come down pit lane. Artur Vieta now our race leader. So Robillard on pit lane. Artur Vieta the leader. Haven't heard anything out of Artur Vieta. And he's to the inside like he is going to come down pit lane here. So Artur Vieta making a pit stop. Alvarez also making a pit stop. Oh, man. Woo. 60 car making a pit stop. Did those guys do a heck of a job or what? Wow. My heavens, man. That was a battle on the pit lane. Artur Vieta on pit lane there. Robillard finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. carrying a lot of speed coming down pit lane. Wow. So Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Alvarez has finished up his pit stop. Alvarez finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track as Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Oliveira has a pit stop as a penalty. Penalty for Oliveira. He's going to have to come back down pit lane. Caligari on has a penalty as well. Both those guys got caught speeding. So they're going to have to make another pit stop. Franco Alvarez the leader, but to Oliveira has to come back down pit lane. Franco Alvarez the leader. Vieta is in second. Robillard is third. John Stanley up to P4. Marizan fifth. Pretty clean pit stops there. We got a couple guys there making a mistake on pit lane, speeding, and they will definitely have to come down pit lane. Franco Alvarez is the race leader, and Vieira, Robillard, and Stanley. A good four-way battle here with Alvarez, Vieira, Robillard, and Stanley. Marizon is in P5. He's in this, I should say, five-way battle here, so we got a five-car breakaway. Running in P6 is Preston Hassel into 27, and Claudio Bardelli Jr. just behind him in the 7th position. Steve Pierce is running in 15th, one lap down. So we got a couple cars, one lap down. And Palumbo had a little bit of a contact there, I think, with Dennis Junichin, and those guys behind the 8 ball just a little bit right now. And they're running in 15th. Palumbo is 15th. It looks like that Junichin running in 10th, so Palumbo is one lap down. .34 laps in, caution free. Alvarez the leader, Artur Vieira just behind him, and a NASCAR PR number 4 car. Robillard in the 90 Chevy Camaro is running in 3rd. And John Stanley running in the 4th position. There's on the backside of this train, and he is running in P5 on board here with him. See that Tim Horton sponsored Ford just ahead. And really, this crew has been able to kind of pull away from the rest of the field somewhat. They've got about a 4.8 second lead on P6. And that P6 is Preston Hassel in the 27 car. The 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. running with him. So we got a 2-car pack there. Dana Grover, he's talking about at the end of that first run there, that how tight that Toyota was. So this 89 car working with Gordon Carter. These guys running P8, P9. And that Fireball Flash Toyota, he said he was really, really tight. That Trax VR sponsored machine, I should say. Really, really tight on the backside of that run. I mean, he was really pushing it hard there for a bit. So I think that may have cost him somewhat on the back half, but really having a pretty good night here running in the 8th position. Robillard up in the wall. Robillard in the 90 car up in the wall. And the 12 of John Stanley going to sneak through. John Stanley sneaking through. It looks like Marizon and that Magpul Dynamic sponsor machine also going to sneak through. Robillard got up on the wall. Now John Stanley having a battle with Greg Marizon. This is for P3. And great battle here as Robillard had made contact with the wall. Lost a couple positions. He tried to bounce back in that C4 Energy sponsored Camaro. And you see Marizon has a head of steam on the bottom line. Going to do a little bit of a slide job right there. And now Robillard trying to close back in and get around. So it looked like the 90 car is having some handling issues right now. He said it was getting really, really twitchy for him. Maybe this track rubbering in a little bit. Oh, the 90, more contact with the outside wall. C4 Energy sponsor number 90, Todd Robillard, having some handling issues right now, running in 5th. Remember, he's our pole setter. And he is having some handling issues. Maybe the track rubbering in is causing that car to get a little wicked on it.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
We got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag here. Claudio Bardelli Jr. gotten some word that he might have come around. Oh, he touches the apron. Bardelli Jr. touches the apron and slides through the grass back. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, that is really, really lucky for him. The caution flag. As Alvarez will take the caution. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. Well, broke the car loose. Wow. Let's take a look and see that replay. So Claudio down on the inside line here, and he just touches the apron right there, and the car comes around. And he is really lucky that this car did not hit the inside wall and then also back onto the track up into traffic. I think everybody had enough time to react, but man, he had just touched that apron right there. You see the car gets that on the apron right here, and then it breaks loose. And it's tough. You have the angle change, the elevation change. You're down onto the flat part of the track, and he's on for a ride. He's just a passenger at this point. Good to the grass. That's like being on ice, and he does a great job of getting through. And then here's on board here with Ed Palumbo getting around. Wow. So our first caution flag of the night here on lap 43, about 42 actually, but now these guys are all going to be coming down pit lane here together, so you can see some drama unfold here on pit lane. These guys now coming down pit lane, led by Franco Alvarez. Now this is what worries me, man. We're going to bunch these guys back up here. As you see Alvarez tucking in his pit stall, our pole setter. Todd Robillard jumping into his pit stall. Good battle here off pit lane as you see Alvarez slipping through. Bardelli Jr. getting some laps led, and he's going to have to, he'll be going down pit lane this time. He will start at the end of the longest line. Heath Pierce gets the lucky dog on that caution. Good news for him. Back on the lead lap is the 51 Captain Morgan-sponsored Camaro. Don't forget, next week we'll be at North Wilkesboro. It won't be the last race of the season. Talladega is actually going to be the week after that, so we had a little bit of a problem with Talladega. We're going to come back and do it again. As you see, Bardelli Jr. coming down pit lane in the 19 car, giving up the race lead. He's going to be serving his penalty. We might get a couple cars that have wave arounds here as well. High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series in action tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Milwaukee Mile, 200 laps. First time we've visited this track in the IndyCars. And guys have been out practicing this track. A lot of drivers excited about this race. So 200 laps from the Milwaukee Mile. Flat oval. Should be a fun one. That's coming up tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Franco Alvarez is the leader. Alvarez is elected to take the inside line here on this one. While Craig Marizon going to start in that second position, Art Vieta third, Todd Robillard will start in the fourth position. John Stanley will start in fifth. Alexei Salviev joining us in here. Good to see Alexei out, joining us in the chat session. Hopefully we'll see him in the IndyCar Series tomorrow. Here we go, getting ready to go back green.
Green flag, go, go, go.
The 83, Franco Alvarez, somehow seems to get that car up to the front of the grid each and every race. That 83 Bass Tracker sponsor machine is leading the field. Got a good battle here for... Oh, look like John Stanley, that 12 car, he's inching ahead. John Stanley, I'll tell you what, when I was watching it, he was about in fifth or so. Now inching ahead here, looking to take over P2 in this 12 car. Tim Horton sponsor machine. Got another Ford behind him helping him out. Preston Hassel, AMD Ryzen sponsored Ford Mustang. Guys starting to figure it out there on that outside line, though. But I'll tell you what, John Stanley says, hey, baby, let's get this inside line working. This is really going to give up a little bit on the straights. But he is continuing to work. Good. Oh, boy, it's getting tight. Gotta be careful here. Starting to get a little dodgy here as Arthur Vieta running into 4 car. He's behind this mix. On board here with Arthur Vieta. Rick Marizon just ahead in the 60. So John Stanley to the lead. How about that? John Stanley says, I am sticking to the bottom line. I can make it happen. And he showed that it can be done. He is now in the race lead. Just behind him is Preston Hassel. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Yellow flag. It looks like the 90 car is come around. The 90 car off the pace. 71 also in this mix. Uh-oh. Looks like maybe Peixoto and Robillard might have gotten together here. Cautions breed cautions. This 90 car is really, really tore up. This car is in bad shape, you can tell. Let's take a look and see what happened. See the 90 cars up on the high side. Jomar Peixoto coming up here and getting into the 90. And in some of those, oh man, Gordon Carter smacking the wall. And it looked like Marizon had a ringside seat for this action here. It looked like the 71 gets into the 90, and the Dana Grover hits the wall trying to get through. Dana Grover, he was behind this action. On board here with him. And then, oh man. So it looked like maybe the 71. See if kind of hard to see here, but definitely comes up a bit. And then into the 90. Dana Grover gets through. So Robillard's got some big time damage there, and he's going to have to try to get that car on to pit lane. So John Stanley's the race leader. Preston Hassel is in second. Rico Alvarez third, Vieta fourth, Marizon fifth, Dana Grover in sixth. Givaldo Spinelli running in a seventh position in his new pace game. Take a look at him. Good run here for the 68 car. 56, Gordon Carter in eighth. Ben Silva ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is Dennis Schudergen in the 47. One car out of the race. Like Ed Palumbo has retired his machine. And the leaders are on pit lane. This thing's tough on tires here, so I think pitting is pretty important when you can. See John Stanley making his pit stop. He finishes up his pit stop now. You got to find the exit to pit lane. Where the hell is it? There it is. See what we missed? See what we missed? Ah, gosh. Well, Dana Grover is leader in the 89, and he might be ducking down pit lane here. Getting those laps led might be a smart decision for him. Steve Pierce shown in second. He's wanting Dana to come down pit lane. He'd like to have some bonus points for leading, but the Captain Morgan sponsor machine is going to follow the 89 down pit lane. 3X also coming down pit lane as well. That is Giulio Galagari. He is one lap down in the 16th position. John Stanley back to the race lead here with Archer Vieira in second. Don't forget the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be in action on Tuesday from Darlington Raceway. 110 laps. And that great, very tough track. The Lady in Black. Too tough to tame. That's for sure. And that's coming up on Tuesday. 110 laps from Darlington in the Tough Truck Series. Robillard still on pit lane with his issues in that crash, so pretty extended pit stop there for the 90 car. As we see the 90 on pit lane still taking service, so extended pit stop for the 90 is John Stanley, the leader. And the 90 now down one lap. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action tomorrow. It's actually going to be May the 4th, not the 3rd. But tomorrow, May the 4th, 100-lap race from Kansas in the Cup Series. It's race number 8 of the season. And these are open setups, man. A lot of fun in this series. 1X tires, 1X fuel, 75% damage setting. And this series has been going on since 2001. That's right. 23 years. The Saturday Night Thunder has been going on in one iteration or the other. When John Stanley is elected to take the outside line on this restart, that puts Archer Vieira, very, very skilled driver here down on the inside line. Remember, John Stanley got to the front using the inside line here. Can Archer Vieira give him a taste of his own medicine? The pace car is off. Here we go, getting ready to go back green.
Green flag, go, go, go.
And Archer Vieira gets a jump on the start. He was ready, and he does get around the 12 car. So Archer Vieira jumps out to the race lead. I think I would have taken that bottom line personally, judging how good you were on the bottom line to get yourself in that position anyway. But now Stanley back to the third position as Preston Hassel in the 27 car now in P2. Track's rubbered in a little bit. Things are going to be a little bit more slick. See Marizon on the inside line in the 60 car. Right now battling John Stanley, Franco Alvarez, and also Claudio Bardelli Jr. Stanley gets by, Alvarez working his way by, and looks like Bardelli Jr. going to try to slip through. How about Givaldo here in the 68 car? Running in the 8th position. Brand new paint scheme for him. Oh! Unigin up the track! Unigin up the track. And they're still wrecking here. Unigin, wow, he had to play catch up with that. He had to play catch up. Wow, man, I tell you what, I'm surprised he didn't come around. That got interesting there. Let's take a look here. Dennis Unigin in the 47 car. He's going to come up the track here and make a little contact with the car on the outside.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
We got a yellow flag. We're watching that replay. And it looked like maybe Oliveira might have come around. We'll go back here to live. And Oliveira has come around in the 17 car. So these guys had a great first half of the race. Now they're starting to get a little messy. As Oliveira now coming down pit lane. Let's see what happened to JJ. JJ had gotten in hard into the inside wall. Take a look here. This is JJ here, and he hits the outside wall, comes across the track. Oh, no! And that is a hard lick there. And more contact for the 17. So into the outside wall and then across the infield and contact with the inside. Man, that was a hard lick. Forward here with JJ. Oh, and he makes contact with the outside. And then, that was a harder lick as I've seen in a long time for Jair Oliveira. We go back to live here, and Arthur Vieira is shown as our race leader. So Vieira, the leader, is 27. Preston Hassel in second. John Stanley third. Franco Alvarez fourth. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is in fifth. I want to say thank you so much for everybody coming in and watching the races. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, man. Get that algorithm, beat it up, and overcome the algorithm and get this broadcast and the channel in people's feeds. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also smash the bell. You'll get updates when races are going live, and I appreciate everybody coming out and watching the races. I really do, and supporting the channel, sharing the feeds and so forth. Really do appreciate that. Look forward to Fridays every single week. And always checking to see who's on here chatting, of course, how many people have had watched the races and so forth. So When I first started out, I never would have thought that I would have this many subscribers. I'm truly blessed to have this many subscribers. And people watching the races as well. If you come in and watch the races, please hit that subscribe button. Always looking for some new subscribers. As you see Artur Vieta making a pit stop. Franco Alvarez has elected to stay out. This might be a little bit different strategy here, as Vieta is on pit lane. Very interesting strategy there from Franco Alvarez. And we might see some guys taking 2 tires as well. And it'd be really, really curious. I'll be skeptical, really, to be honest with you, if Alvarez stay out. But, he's always thinking here, maybe a little gambling going on in his mind. With having a points lead like he does, I don't think I would be gambling too much with pit strategy. You got a pretty decent sized points lead, but still, I don't think I want to give up points to any one of the drivers. Take a look at Benner Silva. He's running in the 7th position in his 5 car. First time out in this paint scheme. He was my pick to win this race. So, hey, he's in 7th, man. You never know. Benner Silva's got some skills, man. The guy can flat out drive a car. He can drive a stock car. He can drive DTM cars. I've seen him drive GT3 cars. This guy can flat out drive. So, we'll see if he can get this Chevy Camaro in victory lane tonight. Alvarez does look like he is staying out. Grover up to P2. That puts Jomar Peixoto in the 3rd position. Uderchin is in 4th. Hassel 5th. Now, I think those first 4 cars did not come down pit lane. Some new faces up front here with the 71 and the 47. Robillard saying he wants to see the 4-car win tonight. He wants Artur Vieta in victory lane. Well, Vieta is running in the 7th position behind Benor Silva. Silva now in 6th. As it does look like Uderchin has come down pit lane here to take some service. So the 47 thought better of it here with these older tires. And he is on pit lane. "66 laps in." Out of a string of caution flags here grouped together. Good about 40 lap run under green. And then 1 caution. Going to bunch these guys back up. And we've had a couple more caution flags after that. Maybe we're done for caution flags here tonight. So it looks like Alvarez is going to take the inside line. I think that's probably the place judging from what I saw John Stanley do on that inside line, I think that's where I would go. I mean, unless you've got them really linked up on the outside, which we saw earlier in the race, I think the inside, if you've got the muscle here, is the place to be. So Alvarez and Grover side by side here for the restart.
Green flag, go, go, go.
And they're back to green. Alvarez gets a good jump. Peixoto is in second. Good battle here with Peixoto. He's on the high line, and the 5 of Benor Silva on the inside line. Alvarez going to the outside. Oh, Peixoto and Carter get together. Peixoto came down, got into the side of the 56 car, but the 56 car muscles his way through. Gordon Carter now in P3. A lot of laps to go here. These guys racing pretty hard on this restart. Dana Grover just behind Peixoto. He's in that 71, or excuse me, that 56, or excuse 89 car. Golly. Preston Hassel on the 27 on the inside of the 89. Little Camry versus Mustang action right there. Hassel in the 27 trying to inch his way around the 89 car. Oh, Hassel trips up!
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Hassel drifted up and got into the 89 car. Let's take a look here as the 27 comes off the turn, and this car just drifts up. This takes off up the track, and he gets in to the 89. The 4 car does a great job of missing that. 19 gets into the back of the 12. Watch out, Vietta's look at this as the 27 drifts up the track, gets into the 89. And these guys doing a good job of really not making it worse. On board here with the 27 car as he drifts up the track and he gets into the 89 car. And then there was a shot right there between Bardelli Jr. and Stanley. Bardelli Jr. might have gotten into the back of John Stanley. On board here with him. Watch this as this unfolds in front. And then right there, a little Tim Hortons coffee on your grill. So, little bit of aggressive driving right now going on with this string of caution flags. Intensity picked up, of course. As Franco Alvarez, the leader, Silva is at second. Now you got to think here. We're back in. We got maybe 4 or 5 laps, whatever it was, couple laps. 2, 3 laps, whatever, and, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to come down pit lane, give up some track position. You started getting late here in the race. The way these guys are driving, are probably going to have another caution flag. A great 40 laps, 45 laps or so under green, and now a little bit of muddied up race here with some string of cautions here. Look at that, Jesus Iglesias coming in here. Barbecue, good to see Barbecue tonight. So it looks like the race leaders are coming down pit lane. And I honestly would follow. I don't think I'm going to move up there and do anything for track position. Now, Steve Pierce has some things in mind here. I would suggest you that Steve is probably going to get some bonus points and then come down pit lane. So he is our race leader. Dennis Schuderchin shown in second. But we are seeing a little battle here come off pit lane. So Alvarez has finished up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Jesus says he's working. No, man! Got to call in sick. What's the call? Yamar? Llamar por enfermo. Probably sound like a second grader speaking Spanish here, or even less than that, I would imagine. I don't know what making a telephone call versus calling somebody, like llamar, I believe is the call. Jesus will help me out on that. Llamar para decir que está enfermo. Yeah, see, I'm okay. And I did the initial no estoy enfermo. Oh, okay, that's good. So Steve Pierce, maybe staying out here, old Steve-O. I can speak Spanish a little bit, man. I just I get in my own head. You know, I think in English and try to translate it in Spanish. I gotta figure out how to do the opposite, right? You know, think in Spanish, speak in Spanish. Llamar para decir que está enfermo. Yeah, you're working. Estoy trabajando. Well, we're speaking some Spanish. I know you guys just joining us. Jesus and I are just straight up speaking Spanish, man. That's Spaniard Spanish right there. Nico Alvarez. He's got the Argentinian Spanish. I would love to be able to hear all of the dialects in the Spanish language. You know, I hear, you know, we've got a pretty good, pretty significant Latin American population in my city, and you know, learning a little bit from them of different dialects from Chile and Argentina and different parts of South America and Central America. I would love to be able to detect that. So Franco Alvarez, he's got the Argentinian dialect right now up front in the 83 car. He's going to start on the inside. And can these guys finish this under green? Right now, we are going to have about 25 laps to go. I don't know, ¿cómo se dice diciendo en inglés? I don't know what diciendo.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Saying that you are saying. Here you go. All right, Alvarez saying that I am the leader. Gordon Carter second, Silva third. Vieira is in fourth. Marizon in fourth on the inside. Oh, Silva making contact with the outside wall. Silva made contact. This guy's really getting after it here with these cold tires. And Silva in the 5 car trying to work his way around Gordon Carter. So Arthur Vieira is in third, but Benor Silva up to P2. Oh! Uderchin to the inside. There was contact for Uderchin. He got bumped. He was on the inside line. He is now back up on the track, but that knocked him down onto the apron. He and Steve Pierce getting after it, the 47 and the 51. Uderchin says, I'm ready for a little Captain Morgan. All take and no give right now, boys. Take a look at this earlier here. I think there was some contact. Right there, contact, man. A Captain Morgan's machine got into the side of the 47 car. Take a look at this battle here with Givaldo and Gilmar. Oh, Steve Pierce up the track. Oh, he gets into Gilmar. Gilmar hangs on. Did you see that? Holy smokes, watch this. Climbs up the track, gets into Gilmar, and Gilmar holds on to the thing. Gilmar Peixoto hangs on to that. How in the world did he do that? Gilmar, look at this battle here. Oh, he's battling the wheel, and he gets that on the flat part of the track and keeps it pointed in the right direction. Great job by Gilmar. Wow. He was working that wheel. Gilmar Peixoto had the save of the race. I got to go back and look at that again. That was wild. Got to go on board here with Gilmar and watch him work this wheel. Watch this. Look at him working this wheel. Working the wheel. Working the wheel. Oh, he does a great job right there. Oh, man, he slips up. As Preston Hassel gets by. Wow, that was a great save there by Gilmar Peixoto. 3-car breakaway, and that Franco Alvarez to the inside. Benor Silva gets by. Alvarez to the inside. Not sure what's going on with Alvarez, but he went down to the inside as Silva sneaks through. Benor Silva in the 5-car. I know this race isn't over, but I picked Benor Silva to win this race. Benor Silva, JB Racing sponsor machine. Franco Alvarez is in second. Vieira third. Gordon Carter in fourth. Craig Marizon is in fifth. Mardelli Jr. Givaldo Spindola in the ninth position, battling Claudio Mardelli Jr. 68 on the inside. Tucks in as Bardelli Jr. gets by. Givaldo and Dennis. Uderchin and Spindola running in P10, P11. Givaldo feeling a little frisky right now with that new paint scheme. Closing back in on the 5 is the 83. Art Vieira just lurking back there. In P3. Gordon Carter running in the 4th position. As now we're starting to see Craig Marizon inch forward. Marizon is up there now in P3, battling for the second position. He is down on the bottom line. On board here with Gordon Carter, Bartelli Jr. on the low side. Craig Marizon showing some muscle here, weaving his way through traffic.
Yellow.
Oh, we got a yellow flag. Steve Pierce off the pace in that Captain Morgan sponsor machine, and he is missing a wheel. You picked a fine time to leave me, loose wheel. And let's take a look at what happened here. As Pierce tries to split the middle and gets into Caligari. Let's take a look here again. Caligari on the outside. And Steve Pierce on the inside. Slides up the track and gets into the 3-car. 3X. And then losing a wheel. Right there, and wow, man, that was a hard lick there for Steve Pierce. So it is 3 wide here, pretty much 3 wide at this point. And then drifting up the track, gets into the 3X machine, and then hard into the wall. So back alive here, and Marizon, I'm telling you right now, that guy did not want to see that caution flag come out. Franco Alvarez is second, Silva third, Bardelli Jr. fourth, Vieta is in fifth. So we are bunching them back up again. Man, we had a great first half of the race, up at 40 laps, 45 laps or so under green. And this last half of the race has been kind of marred with some caution flags. And a lot of it has been, just not kind of watching your line. Kind of guard your yard here, but, stay in line, get some laps in. And we're starting to see guys, trying to cut in a little bit too soon. In that case, we saw somebody going 3 wide. And I realized, now we're looking at pretty late in the race, but this stuff was happening, say, on lap 55. And as we see Craig Marizon now on pit lane, Franco Alvarez in the 83 has elected to stay out here. This is pretty questionable, in my opinion. As Archer Vieta is in second. Bardelli McQueen, huh? So pretty interesting to see, Alvarez stay out here. I mean, you do have a few laps on the tires. The guys were racing pretty hard as well, and he is gambling a little bit, in my opinion. kind of see where Marizon is. He had a really fast car on that last little stint, and he is right now running in 6th. Vieira, he's got a, he stayed out as well, I believe. Grover in the 89 is in 3rd. We do see Preston Hassel coming down pit lane. So Hassel in the 27 on pit lane now. And he's not got the best car in the world now after having that incident earlier. So Alvarez has stayed out, but you see Preston Hassel finishing up his pit stop now, coming back out on track. And missing the back end of that car, so earlier incident for him. Don't forget the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series will be at its first oval of the season, Milwaukee Mile. 200-lap race coming up tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's race number 3 of the season, an 8-race season in that IndyCar Series. We'll take a look at the schedule there. Milwaukee Mile tomorrow, and Indianapolis GP coming up on May the 11th. Nashville Superspeedway on May the 18th. That is our second of 3 ovals, followed by Indianapolis Motor Speedway on May the 25th. Detroit and Toronto, the last 2 races of the season, are road courses. So 3 ovals on the schedule this season, and we're going to hit our first one tomorrow at the Milwaukee Mile. Looks like Alvarez is taking the inside line here on this restart. That puts Archie Viet up on the outside line. So those guys probably on equal tires here now. Marizon did pit. John Stanley is in 6th in the 12 car. I think he did come down pit lane as well. Gordon Carter behind him in 8th in the 56. Now 4 cars out of the race. Had everybody in the race until about lap 45 or so, and then at our first DNF, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe about lap 60 or so. So Alvarez and Vieira side by side here for this restart. And Alvarez, the points leader here, coming into tonight's race. Pretty comfortable points lead for Alvarez as well. Some of these guys racing for wins.
Green flag, go, go, go.
And again, that inside line, Alvarez gets a jump. We saw Vieira do that earlier. Vieira on the outside line, followed by Claudio Bardelli Jr. The inside line led by Dana Grover. Trying to close in on Alvarez. Grover in the 89. Alvarez down for the block in the 83 car. Trying to play both sides. The 4 and the 89. Got to be careful with that. Now is to the outside. Staying on that outside line is Dana Grover on the inside. Dana Grover making a move here on this inside line. On board here with Alvarez. Got a good head of steam coming off. Grover falling back. I think he lost some grip in that car. Grover now back to P4. Benor Silva in the 5 car just behind him. John Stanley running in 4th. Tim Horton spots a machine. You see Gordon Carter and Dana Grover behind. We get our, there we go, somewhat. So you see Gordon Carter slipping by on the outside, or trying to slip by on the outside. That high place moving spots the machine, and it's starting to get racy up here. Alvarez the leader. Can he hold on? Bardelli Jr. has that car up front. John Stanley in the 12. On the inside line with Bardelli Jr. Couple Fords working together. Alvarez, oh man! Tried to throw the block, but Bardelli Jr. was there. Bardelli Jr. in the 19 car, trying to close this thing out on the bottom line. Can't do it as that top line starting to move. And that's going to give the 83 maybe the room that he needs to dive down, but no, that door is closed as the 19 car has a good run. We're getting racy back here as well. Benner Silva. Looking out of the front of his car, he sees Dennis Unischen, and he's going to the outside. Unischen on the inside line, on board here with Benner Silva. Silva, they're working that wheel. Bardelli Jr. shown as the leader. Got around Alvarez. Oh, big yellow flag. Big yellow flag. I had a feeling it was coming, man. These guys, the aggressiveness just got crazy. It's Bardelli Jr., the leader. And I think we're going to have a green-white checker here. Boy, you can just feel the intensity, man, here. So we'll take a look, see what happened to Marizon. Marizon up the track right there, gets into the 56 car. And then contact there. Oh, man, Givaldo hard contact with the 60. Givaldo had nowhere to go on board here with Givaldo. You see Marizon gets up into Gordon Carter, and then, right there. Run in contact with the 60. You see that 60 car come up the track here and gets into the 56. And Grover into the wall there getting by, but on the 71 clashes as well. Going to look out of the back of John Stanley's machine. We're not doing a very good job of that, are we? So on board with Marizon as he gets into Dana Grover, it looked like. Or Gordon Carter. Dana Grover made some contact with the wall, but you see that 60 car. Man. And I wanted to take a look out of the back of John Stanley's machine. Take a look here. See the 60 kind of goes up. And then, wow, Unischen even caught a little bit of that as well. Benner Silva somehow slipped by. I think we're going to have a green-white checker now. Certainly looks like that to me. And, man, Givaldo torn up. This is going to be interesting. Ooh, Alvarez. Oh, yeah. Boy, he had me faked out. So the 19, Claudio Bardelli Jr. is the leader. And these guys have really muddied up this second half of the race, I think. I mean, I've said that earlier. We had such a, very good race going on with that first 40, 45 laps. And then they got kind of muddied up here on the second half. Track rubber's in, and I think you can stand to, take that into consideration and notch down the aggressiveness a little bit. Since the car is going to get a little slicker. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from, and that's who provides our service here at HighOctaneRacing.net. Don't forget to join us over there. Hit the link to our Discord server. That's where we do most of our business. We appreciate you guys checking us out. Thanks to all those new members, too. Welcome. Welcome to all those folks coming out and joining us. So, green, white checker. Is it our second one in 2 weeks? Oh, I don't mind a green, white checker once in a while, but I don't want to see him every race. Come on now. The green, white checker here tonight. Now it's going to be interesting to see what Bardelli Jr. does. I mean, which lines are he going to pick? My pick to win this race right now is shown in the 7th position, and that is Ben Silva in the 5 car. All right, well, Bardelli Jr. is elected to take the inside line. That puts Alvarez up on the outside line. Arthur Vieira on the inside starts in P3. John Stanley 4th. Gordon Carter will start P5. Dana Grover 6th. Ben Silva will start in the 7th position. On the outside line will be Dennis Udichin in P8. See Alvarez there bunching down on him a little bit just to get in his head. Pace car's off. Here we go. Green, white checker. Will this finish under green?
Go, go, go.
I'm betting no. Oh, the 19 spun his tires a little bit, and Alvarez gets a good jump. And Bardelli Jr. closed the gap. No, he goes to the outside as Alvarez dives down and takes the race lead. Alvarez to the lead. Might have been contact there as Oh, there's contact there. We got a yellow flag, and that's going to finish it. Well, Alvarez, they had a look like Bardelli Jr. and Vieira might have gotten into one another. Gordon Carter, it looks like, maybe. So Bardelli Jr. comes up the track, gets into Gordon Carter there, and then more contact. So Franco Alvarez is going to get the race win. And Alvarez and that Bass Tracker sponsor machine going to get the win. So good job to Franco Alvarez on getting the win. Gets it on a green-white checker. So Franco Alvarez gets the win here on a green-white checker, a messy second half of the race. My heavens, man. We had such a great first half of the race, and these guys just, maybe not taking into account that this track gets rubbered in, gets slick. And congratulations to Franco Alvarez. Let's take a look at the final results here as Franco Alvarez celebrating his victory. There we go. Franco Alvarez gets the win. Archie Vieira finishes in second. Gordon Carter third. John Stanley finishes in that fourth position. Benner Silva finishes in fifth. Dana Grover finishes in the sixth position. Gilmar Peixoto seventh. Dennis Uderchin finishes in eighth. Craig Marizon ninth. And Julio Caligari finishes in 10th. Finishing in P11s, Preston Hassel. Ubaldo Spindola finishes in 12th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. 13th. Steve Pierce 14th. Jair Leveda finishes in the 15th position. Todd Robillard 16th. And Ed Palumbo finishes in the 17th position. Guess we'll have to figure out how to drag that thing without dragging all of it, huh? There we go. Not a perfect scenario here. But hey, congratulations to Franco Alvarez on getting the win here in this Bass Trackers sponsor machine here at Kansas. Another win for our points leader. We'll see if we can't get him up in the booth. Here in the booth with us. All right, Franco Alvarez joining us up here in the booth, gets the win at Kansas, and man, talk about a tale of two races here. You got a first half of the race, it was 40, 45 laps of caution-free racing, and then we just had a string of cautions there in that back half of the race. How do you plan for that type of thing?
Hey, Mr. Johnson. Hey, everybody. Yeah, that was a weird race. At the beginning of the race, as you said, we had a long green flag run, green flag pit stops, a lot of strategy playing out, a lot of tire saving, a lot of, finding your way in the pack. And then one caution turned everything loose. We had a string of cautions, which made the race extremely strategy on the fuel side. This track was eating the tires. The tires were burning alive, and the fuel wasn't really a concern. Because of the amount of cautions, tires did not matter at all, and it was all about fuel. So yeah, a very weird race.
Well, it seemed like to me that you tended to stay out on some of those caution flags, and was that in your mind a little bit of a risky move, or you guys had guys diving down pit lane to take fresh tires? Were you worried about those fresh tires?
I was not worried about the tires. I was worried about the fuel. The first time I did not pit, I didn't because everybody needed to pit anyway. So at that moment I will need to pit like 5 or 6 laps before everybody, if to stay green. But because of the amount of cautions, everybody pit again. And I was short on fuel for 1 or 2 laps. That's why nobody wanted to lead that moment when I let the 5 go for me. Yeah, I needed to save 1 lap of fuel to make it to the end. Thankfully, the caution came out with like 10 laps to go, and that was it. Like, tires did not matter at all at that moment because everybody was pushing as hard as they could. So it was risky, but not that much.
Well, next week we'll be at a short track, North Wilkesboro. We've only been there a few times. How do you feel about that track at 135 laps at that short track next week?
I not only love short tracks, I love North Wilkesboro. The last time we raced there, I had a very good race, so I'm looking forward for that track. That track is really, really fun, and it eats the tires, so it's gonna be a really tricky race to do so.
Then, of course, I haven't updated the schedule yet, but we are going to tag Talladega back on the end of that schedule to do a do-over on that race, and that's a big crapshoot there, and figure out who's going to win that one. It's really anybody's race, I think, in that one. What's your feeling going into that super speedway and the very final race of the season?
Well, thanks to the win day, and if I can get a solid result in North Wilkesboro, I could maybe guarantee the title before Talladega. That's what I want to do. Because Talladega is always a box of surprises. Like, you can end first or 25th for a slight margin, So I want to make the biggest amount of points possible the next race. So I don't really care about what happens at Talladega. So if I finish 17, it will be okay for me. So I don't really want to play Talladega out. It's really a chess game. Like, it's lucky sometimes.
A lot of new cars out on the track tonight, and painted by you. It looked really great, and I want to send my thanks out to you, and I know speak on behalf of the guys that are driving those cars too. They are really appreciative of that. You do a fantastic job. I want to say again, thanks so much, and best of luck to you here in the last few races of the season.
Well, I'm really happy you guys are liking the cars. That motivates me to make even more, so I can make more work for you. There are more cars on the garage being painted right now, so be prepared. But yeah, thankfully the 83 is in victory lane once again, and I hope it repeats itself in next week at one of the best tracks of the season.
All right, we'll see you then, man. Thank you and congratulations.
Thanks, man. Good race, guys.
That is Franco Alvarez joining us up here in the booth, and another win for Franco. And he seems to, like I said, sometimes it's about just putting yourself in a position to take advantage of the scenario to put yourself in victory lane, and he did exactly that. So next week we'll be at North Wilkesboro, and then following that we'll be at Talladega. So just 2 races to go here in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. Don't forget, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be at the Milwaukee Mile, 200-lap race, our first oval of 3 of the season. And it's a short one. The Milwaukee Mile. It's going to be a miracle to win that race, I think. It's going to be a fun one. Thanks so much for joining us here. EliteHostingUSA.com provides our servers. If you'd like a server for your race league, you can use EliteHostingUSA.com. And thanks so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Don't forget that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And hit that bell, and you'll get updates when races are going live. Saturday Night Thunder will be in action tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here at Kansas. It's the Cup Series at Kansas. The Saturday Night Thunder, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Congratulations to Franco Alvarez on getting the race win. Fantastic run here for him. That's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you next time. I am out of here.